I got to throw it out there that the Toronto Maple Leafs, you know what? Those guys had a whole world of pressure on them coming into the playoffs, as they have every year that they've made it in this last while, especially with this core group of guys. I don't think that real people like us out here living in the world that are spectators of the sport actually understand the true power that exists in the cosmos of this stuff. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I personally can feel it just watching. And I'm not even a Leafs fan, but I can feel it. It's a real thing, right? And I would say that the Leafs coming out here facing again a very dangerous Tampa Bay Lightning team that had beaten them before, for them to come out quite dominantly and dispatch them in that first round. Uh, I was very happy to see that. No, I'm generally not a Maple Leafs fan.
You can go scorched earth, by the way, because I do all the time. That's kind of my gimmick on the podcast here. Is I say it all the time. I hate the Leafs more than I love my mother. And happy Mother's Day, love you, Mom.
I was fans of a couple of players on there.
I still am.
TJ Brody, those guys.
I think Matthews is an incredible player, if not the best goal scorer in the NHL right now.
They're fun to watch. And Marner and Matthews and Nylander. And you know, they got a lot of
Riley
player. They you know, and you know, Kyle Dubas there, he knew that this first round curse was a real thing and that these guys really felt it, you know, and he needed to do what he had to do and bring the right people in, and he did his best to bring in the players to get them the support that they needed to go deep, and they slayed the dragon in defeating Tampa Bay, and they got the monkey off of their freaking back for getting out of the first round playoffs. And I would say, for me, that's a top story. I know a lot of people that have cheered for the Leafs for a very long time, and I'm sure it was really nice for the players, the organization, and all their fans to finally get a little insy bitsy bit of playoff success there, right?
We want Florida. We want Florida.
And they got Florida.
See, right? That's why I think, Tim, I agree with you. That is one of the best storylines of the playoffs. But what makes it such a good storyline is the conclusion is they got their fucking ass whipped by Florida in the second round.
And so they should have. And it was the same for the Calgary Flames when they finally made the playoffs after not making for 9 straight years.
Beat Vancouver.
And then they of course, anytime they did make it, they would seem to go out in the first round quite easily anyways. So you know,
I just ran into that Kessler, that last wind of Kessler, Getzlaf, and Perry, who just were bending over teams left, right, and center in the West.
You betcha, right? And a lot of painful years there, and I know that those painful years were felt also from that team out east, and it was incredible to see them get a little bit, and we'll see what they can do. We'll see if Matthews sticks around, right?
Oh, he's going to Arizona, baby. He's signing with Arizona. It's going to be incredible. Oh, man. Honestly, Tim, I might have to buy a Matthews Kachina jersey. I cannot wait for him to say, Toronto, I know you tried. It ain't happening here. I'm going home. I'm going to be paid more than you can even pay me here because they have a shit team, and I'm going to be playing with Cooley when he leaves Minnesota, not this coming year, but the next year after that. And oh my goodness, it's going to be incredible, Tim. I'm calling it right now. I do not think the Maple Leafs are re-signing him. It's not to say that I don't think they want to re-sign him. I just think, like, but from his perspective,
too, be there.
No, well, I don't even think it's that entirely. I think it's I've done everything that I can here. You know, I've sweat, I've bled. You know, I signed a big deal. I had an incredible rookie run. Like, my time with the Leafs is over, and I want some of my good prime years to be back home with a rebuilding team that has a chance to make the playoffs before he goes on his decline. And he will be an absolute, like, he's already a superstar from the United States point of view for hockey. He's going to be on a whole other level and really bring hockey to a whole other level in Arizona.
He'll make that team something.
Tim, well, I just said it. I'm going to buy a Kachina jersey. I don't give a fuck about the Arizona Coyotes. I'm going to buy that jersey. if he goes there, right? So just
Yeah.
people, and I feel like other American hockey fans and even Canadian hockey fans, those collectors and things like that, they're gonna buy that jersey, and that's right there. That little note is one of many things that'll come from that tidal wave, especially with some of the good players that they're gonna ice down the road. But anyways,